All right, here we are. I want to talk a little bit about dice influence, dice control, and all of that stuff. So last night, Alfredo had his Talking Crap with Alfredo, which is a fun show. He does it with Zoom and a bunch of guests. It's actually really cool. And invariably, when we have these shows, the topic of dice control comes up, and it's one of those topics that just it is what it is, right? People get really animated about it. I know Greg is very much it's random and you're all full of shit. Our good friend, Dr. Don't Pass One, was texting me last night. Same thing. He's like, "You're nuts. You've seen the slow mo. You're insane for even thinking this is possible." Um, and I want to dive in a little bit on a couple levels. One, I'm not going to try and prove or disprove anything. I do want to talk a little bit about betting, though, how we bet different player types, which I think some of you may think is crazy, but again, it's the way I do things. And I want to talk to you about some of the countermeasures because this statement got made last night by somebody. I think it was Greg. And he said, the casinos love dice controllers. And I think somebody else even agreed, like, yeah, they love dice controllers because dice controllers, for the most part, overbet, right? They think they can do this. They can't do it that well, a lot of people, and they overbet it. And they leave their money out there too damn long. They press too much, and it becomes a problem for them, right? The casinos love that. Casinos also love a happy table. When everybody's screaming and high-fiving, that means people are going to open up their wallets and they're going to come out there and they're going to play, again, too much money. It doesn't hurt the casinos if a dice controller shoots well. It doesn't hurt the casino if a table gets really hot because a hot table is followed by a bunch of dumbasses, and we all know it, right? So, which is, I think, all true. Yet at the same time, the casinos are putting all the countermeasures out there, right? You've got, and I'll show you here a different this is my table, which used to be really hard, right? It was hard as a rock. I had this plastic thing beneath this felt, the old felt, and it was too hard. It was unrealistic, right? But it was highly bouncy. I put the new felt on top of the old felt. Now it feels more like, quote unquote, a legit normal casino table. The bounce is right. But what you also see is casinos, and I'll show you my other surface here in a minute, but casinos now have this, my diamond wall here is the old style. It's 7 diamonds high. Some casinos have 5 high diamonds. Some casinos have very new diamonds, very old diamonds. The newer ones are 9 high. They're super spongy, right? So what you see is the casinos on one hand saying, we don't give a shit. We hope you guys can throw the dice well. We hope you win a lot of money. We hope that you create excitement around the game. On the other hand, they're saying, well, fuck you. We're going to make the tables as bouncy as we can so you can't do this. We're going to make the back wall random from casino to casino so you can't do it. In fact, we're going to make the dice different. Here's 2 sets of dice out of casinos. Well, this is actually not. This is actually let me get the casino dice because that's a terrible example. I'll give you the ones that are from, hold on. These are from where are these? No, not those. Let's get these. I think the red ones are the right ones. Yeah, these are from the Golden Valley. These are from the Golden Valley. These are from the Calneva. Okay, you can't tell the difference. You're on a camera, right? I can tell you right now, these dice are bigger than these dice. They weigh more. They're different in size and weight than these dice are. Some casinos, like the Orleans, use the 2 different size and weighted dice during the same day on the same table. Now, why are they doing that? There's no reason to have different size weighted dice from the same manufacturer. You can choose when you buy dice how big and heavy you want them to be. There's no reason to do that, especially in the same casino. If you have nothing to hide, right? If you love dice control, if you think it's not possible, if you don't believe it, but you think that the dice controllers are going to burn money because they think they can, then why do you have different size dice? Why are your tables bouncier and bouncier and bouncier? Why are the back wall compositions changing? Well, Greg said last night they do that because they want to ensure, and I'm going to quote him, they want to ensure a random game. Okay, let's unpack that. On one hand, Greg says, and other people will agree with him, everything's random, it's all bullshit, you guys are crazy for thinking you can control the dice. On the other hand, right on the other side, they're saying, yeah, but they're doing all this other shit to make sure that it's random. Well, if you're trying extra measures to make sure that it's random, you must have a belief somewhere in you, Mr. Casino Operator, that things somehow aren't random sometimes because of some people, right? There's no other way to read that. And I know that casino bosses and dealers are all snickering, oh, it's bullshit. These guys can't control the dice. But, here we are. with bouncier and bouncier tables and different sized alligator skin and different bouncy alligator skin, and everything is different. The table lengths are different. It's all a joke. It's all a freaking joke. So here's the deal. Is it real? I don't know. I will tell you this. If you set the dice the exact same way every single time, let's use the bigger dice. If I set them the exact same way, the exact configuration, 2's on top, 6's on, it doesn't matter what I do, what configuration that it is, and I throw them in the exact same way, I have a better chance of them landing close to where they started or in some configuration than if every time it was different. If I changed them up every single time and this would, again, shake me in my hand, right? Randomly, who knows where they start? If you don't know where they start, you don't know where they end. If you know where they start, you probably still don't know quite where they end, but you have a shot at getting them into a pocket. That's the allure of controlled shooting. That's why we try it. We try and keep them in a pocket by doing, at least taking some of the randomness away. Not the randomness, but some of the vectors away, right? The vectors of randomness, right? Same set, same grip, same speed, same release point, same backwards rotation, same landing spot, same speed into the wall. If you can eliminate 6 or 7 out of the 10 vectors that you have to fight, you got a fighting chance, maybe, right? That's the reason. And I think, like I say all the time, I don't think for a minute that I can actually do it to any kind of degree, but I do find this pretty cathartic. I do like throwing my dice. I do think it's fun. I think it's an interesting challenge to try and see if I can't get through it. But at the end of the day, I think this argument that the casinos don't believe it's true has to die. That's a bad argument because they do believe it's true. Otherwise, they wouldn't be changing shit. They wouldn't be putting 16-foot tables out there with trampoline surfaces on them if they didn't think it was true. They wouldn't be changing the walls out if they didn't think it was true. They wouldn't mix the dice up on the same table with different sizes and weights if they didn't think it was going to bother a shooter. So all that to say, if you're going to make the statement they're trying to ensure a random game, that implies that there's a way for the game not to be quite so random. I think that's why we do it. That's why guys practice and throw, and there's a reason for it. So all that said, what does it mean? It means a hill of beans. It means absolutely nothing if A, the person isn't in their zone, and B, if you're not betting. Right now, I've had this talk before about ways that I bet on different kinds of people. Okay, now by and large, I'm a don't pass player. I start most of the time down here. When I'm shooting, I sometimes shoot from the pass line, but really, I'm here most of the time just because, right? It's a kind of a safe place to be. So first things first, when I see a hooker and a chucker, when I see this guy here and he's just winging it like our friend Greg does, right? When I see that, right, that is guaranteed random, right? Whether you believe in DC or not, that's for sure somebody trying to make sure that there's nothing to these dice. They really want to shake them up and ensure random. Greg actually throws them extra hard to make sure they're random. And I ask him all the time, like, you throw them extra hard to make sure they're random. That must mean that you think if you throw them softly, they won't be randomized. I don't know. Some people, again, like to do this to make sure they get a random result. Okay, great. When I see that, I feel like we're going to be inside the less than 6 zone, right? The average person throws 8.5 times from when they pick the dice up to when they finally 7 out. The average person is 8.5. Okay, any good average, right? Half the people are at half the size, right? So you got about 50% of the people are going to be at about a 4. Right? Think about that. So if the average is 8.5, most people are probably around a 4. And if they're doing this to force themselves into the pyramid, right, into that nice shaped pyramid that we see for randomness, or for outcome spread, I'm going to bet that they're going to be in that 4 group, right? I'm going to bet they're going to probably be about a 4. And for that reason, I'm here. I'm on the don't, right? And I may do mini horseman, right? What I'm more likely to do is the southern border. When I see this hucking and chucking, I'm more likely to go southern border than anything else because I think they're going to get about 4 rolls out of it, okay? And 1 roll is going to be setting the point One roll is going to be setting my next don't. One roll is going to be setting my next don't. They might hit a number, and then they're going to 7 out. I'm going to get all 3. Okay? I'm probably going, before I even get in the come, my third roll is going to be in the come, right? When I'm set up like this, that's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing hitting on all 4 bets because the average shooter is going to be below 8. Not the average shooter, but most of the time, you'll be below 8. So I'm playing for that, right? When I see the hucker and chucker, it is either a don't pass or I'm bypassing this and I'm going right to southern border, or it's going to be a don't pass, couple of DCs and a come, and I'm out of here. Like that's exactly what I'm doing on an absolute purely random person. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Why do I do that? Just safety and protection. That's all that it is. So it looks like this. It's going to be, if I did it here and at my local, I might not even do this high, right? That's a quarter. At my local, I'm probably doing 15. I'm probably going $15 down here, right? We'll let Randy get a point if he can. There's a 4, right? Just huck him and chuck him. We get a 4 for a point, and I'll go $10 in the don't come. Okay, I can't. We have a local casino that we go to a lot. It's a $10 table, so I'll go 10 of the don't come, and we'll just smash them, right? Again, the guy is going to wing them down there and hope for the best. That goes behind the 9. I may do 1 more of these. We'll get 2 don'ts. Again, just huck him on down there, hope for a 7. He gets himself a 5. And now we're going to be at random. This is the average random person is going to die right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where they're probably going to crash and burn, most likely. If I get in this spot here, I feel pretty good, usually, okay? Let's see what we get here. Fantastic. Oh my God, I couldn't have scripted that any better. It's a 617. So that's exactly what you want to see, right? Random Randy, most of the time is going to be here, okay? And what did we win on that? 15, 25, 35, $45, right? On a random person. I'm not going to go out there 66 inside or 64 across and hope for the best against a guy who's looking to be random. Because looking to be random, I'm expecting 4. We may get 30, right? That happens. But I'm expecting 4 like we just saw. That's what I'm probably going to see some of that, right? Now, there's another kind of player who is more careful. And you've seen this guy, right? They set the dice, and they don't set them for anything in particular, right? They set their birthday, or they set the age of their kid, whatever their superstition is. They just set them because they like how they look. My son likes to look at the cross 6s because he thinks it looks cool, right? No other reason than that, and he can find them fast and get him out there, right? He doesn't try and do any kind of a throw. He grabs them and just goes like that. He just tosses them lightly, never in the same spot, but he always has the same preset. It's always the cross 6s. And it's always a really light little, I'm going to be careful with it kind of a throw. Okay? He's got one vector figured out, right? That's always going to be the same. The lightness is always going to be the same. Okay, the rest of it is kind of up for grabs, and we'll see what happens. But when I see a person like that, at least I don't see the crash and burn back here. I feel a little better about that, right? Am I deluding myself? Probably. But this person here is most likely going to get a $25 don't pass out of me, okay? They're most likely going to see either 66 inside or 44 inside, depending on the table, okay? At my local, it's 44 inside, okay? Like this. It's going to be 44 inside, and I'm looking to grab maybe 2 hits, and I'm out. This person here sometimes from me gets the iron cross. It depends on if I've seen them throw before, what kind of pocket they get into, but this person may actually be here for me. Okay, pull the 9 down into there, and I'm looking for 2 hits. I'm looking to get 2, maybe 3, and get out of dodge. This might be a good chance to do a don't-based iron cross. Let's leave the bets off. Let's come out. Let's see what this person does. Again, I'm going to throw him just a couple feet away here. how this person works for me here at this level. There's a 4, hard 4, point will be 4. And again, I'm not going to trust this person to go very long, but I do think they have a chance, a better chance than completely random, to go on a little bit of a run, right? Let's get lucky here, and maybe this person does something for us. There's a heart 8, a 4-4 heart 8. Now, this is a terrible iron cross because I didn't go enough on the insides. These should be 15. By rights, they should be 30 to 10, but for now, we'll lose this. It'll pay up here, 14 bucks. Now, I'm going to fix these bets now. Let's make them look like they should, 18s, at least 18s up there, and 15, and we'll put our $10 back. All right. Let's make it a proper iron, at least a semi-proper iron cross. Point of 4, got one hit up in there. And again, we'll get our little bit of a cross 6s set, super light roll. And how do they do? Another heart 8. Right in the pocket. That rolled. That was a 8. There we go. Heart 8. We'll lose our 10. We're going to get paid 21. Right? 21. 10 comes back to the field. We have 11 bucks. Okay. Now at this point, we've hit twice. Granted, the first one was a crappy hit. What I likely do here is this. I'll take the 10 bucks. I'll drop $1 from my rack. I'll make those look like 24. Like so. One time. One more hit and we're done. Or one more roll, probably, and I'm done. I don't trust this person any farther than what they've done. 2 or 3 hits. And I got to feel like I'm okay here. Right? If we can survive this one, we got a yo. Good result for us there. We'll take our 10 bucks. Right? And I'm out. I'm pulling all this down. We write it out. Okay? There's our 2044 that we had started with. Okay? We got about 30 bucks or so in profit. 30 bucks off that shooter. I'm happy with that. I don't need to be out here for a year and a half waiting for this guy to win. Hey. No, it's in here. It's in the door of the fridge. Right there. You got it. Good night, I love you too. All right, so here we go. Same shooter. Still looking for a 4, right? I got a couple of 2-3 hits up in here. I think I took 2 8s and a field, right? I feel like I dodged a little bit of a bullet there, right? Let's see what this guy does. How fast can I survive or die with this shooter here, right? There's a 9. I should be putting these dice up into the viewer for you. Oh, but that was ugly. There's a 7. 617. So that person 7's out after about 5 rolls. They made it 5 or 6 rolls. I think they had the point. Let's count them out. They had the point of 4, 8, 8, 11, 9, 7. So that person had, looks like, was that 6? That's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rolls, right? And we're out of there with about 50 bucks. Happy, man. I'm happy with that 50 bucks. Easy squeezy, right? Now, the other kind of person is one that rolls that I don't know that well, but I can see they kind of know what they're doing, sort of, right? They're putting together like a traditional, I don't know, maybe they're doing like a 3V or something like that, right? They got something going on, and I'm watching them throw, okay? This is where the horseman comes in for me, right? The horseman starts out in here for this person because I just don't know what they have yet. So to me, this is where the horseman makes sense, right? A person who has potentially the ability to get on kind of a roll, maybe, but I don't know how they are yet. I have 2 choices here. This is one way that I play this, right? We'll watch him. I'll set him up like a normal shooter would, right? I'm not very good at the par style toss, but he gets his roll, right? We get a win on the don't pass, which is great for me. I'll put the wins out here in the field. Get a couple more shots. Nice throw, Johnny. Look at that beautiful throw. 415. Okay, he's on a 5. Now this person here, the horseman makes sense to me for this person. I do the horseman at a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 level, so 25 and 10. and 10 and 10, increasing my 7 stays strong the whole way through. And again, this person, I choose the horseman for this kind of shooter because I expect that they're still going to probably have a relatively short roll. I don't expect anybody to get past 8. But this person, I figure, if the hucker and chucker is going to be at 4, 4.5, if the careful dude's going to be at 6, like we just saw, this guy here might be the guy that gets to 8, right? Cool. Get a couple of comeback set, let him pay off, let me get out of here. Like that's where the horseman to me makes sense. If he has a bad roll, then I'm on the don't and I'm good, right? So I'm happy with that. So here we go. There's a 7 out right there. So this guy gets a PSO, the super great shooter. I'll put the 7s up here. That was a 5-2. Oh, geez, it rolled. Sorry. Come on. There you go. 5-2-7, right? So the horseman does its thing. The don't pass pays and the come pays, right? And again, kind of a miracle there. We hit all 3 bets perfectly, right? But that's what I'm looking for from that shooter because that guy might actually get 3 come bet set. And he might actually hit 1 or 2 of them. So I'm going to go don't pass as I want the last win. Let the 3 come bets resolve themselves. That's the way I play normally when I see a person who looks like they're a par type shooter or some kind of a person who practices. I give him a little hedges horseman. Works for me. And again, I'm not putting a lot of money at risk, right? I'm doing a super safe bet. If they happen to go off, that's great. The come bets pay. They turn into place bets, and we can ride the horse with them, right? We can do it. We can do a good thing. As a matter of fact, I'm okay losing the $25 if all 3 come bets pay, right? Because then I'll be on the swing with this person. That's a fine way to do it. Now, sometimes if it's a shooter I know, like for example, I play with Ian Olson a lot. I know how Ian shoots. Okay, Ian typically does a lot of outside numbers, right? But for him, it's a don't pass. Let's get a point. Put the puck off. We'll get a point here, right? And again, I know how he shoots, right? I'm gonna try and emulate him shooting, but it won't be as good as him, of course. But there's a 5-1-6, right? On the don't though, I'll still go 66 inside, and I'm gonna do on him a little skill 66. Okay, so here we go. Again, this is a known shooter, right? Alfredo, one of our friends. Ed Robinson, one of our friends. Ian Olson, one of our friends. People I've seen and played with, right? I'm going to go skill 66 because I think they can stay in this pocket for half a minute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and see, can this person, and I'm going to try and shoot par style. There's no way I can do this, right? Actually, that was not a bad shot. 6-1-7. Of course, I blow myself here. What I'm trying for here, and this is why I don't shoot par, because I suck. What I would have done here is a skill 66. We would have gone from 66 to 88 and off for $50. Matter of fact, let me try it again. Let me show you how this works out for me. I'll try it again. Well, that's a loss, but let me show you. I'll try it a few more times here, just to see if I can't make it happen, because I want you to see the pattern that works for me a lot of times on a shooter that I'm wanting badly to trust. There's a 4 for a point. Okay, let's go. It's funny how just literally awful I am at this kind of throwing. And that looks good in the air, though. I mean, I'm actually getting better at that. Okay, 4-2-6. Okay, so I'll drop a buck from my rack, and that pays 21. We go to 88. Okay, so we're going to increase each one of these by $5 to 88. Let's watch how this burns out. Here we go. 7. Okay, I suck. I suck so bad at the par shot. My God. That's fine. I'm trying to emulate somebody that I can't emulate. But this par shooter, right? Here's what would happen next. Just to give it to you, right? It pays $28. Had the person been able to survive and hit 2, there's 28. And I started with 66. How does that look? There's 25, 50, 60, 5, $66. Okay. What comes back to me 25, 40, 45, $50. It's always $50. 66 to 88. Come down with $50 in profit. Had I not 7 down, of course, right? That brings $50 back. I don't want to take up too much of your morning here, but and then what am I left with? I'm left with the good don't pass. I'm left with this, right? That all comes back with $50 in profit, and I keep my don't pass bet up here, let the guy 7 out, and I make $100 off him, or $75, right? That I'm happy with that, right? Again, if that person happens to go off, let's say they knock this off. I'm like, hell yeah, baby, I made $50 off you, right? You knocked off my don't, good for you. I'm still up $25 from that transaction. They might get on the next roll from me another $66 without a don't, right? That to me is kind of like, okay, I can see what you're doing. We'll come out here again. No don't pass, and I'll play on you. It cost me $25 to learn a lesson in that respect, right? So when I'm facing a shooter that like I think might be good or I've seen shoot before, again, an Alfredo or a Ian or somebody like that, that's how I play that person, okay? Again, I'm not going ape shit. I'm not going nuts. I'm not betting the farm because I see a DC out there. I'm just doing my normal thing over here, okay? Now, where I had been known to go a little nuts is on myself when I shoot. Now, normally my first time with the dice, whenever I start, I do the horseman, right? And I go 25, 10, 10, 10. That's how I normally start. Give myself a chance to suck and get out of it. If I get out of it, then I go tier pressure. And you know how I play, right? I'll put as small a bet as I can on the pass line. I will never play the ATS, and I'll go 130 across. And we'll try and, at 130 across, we're going to try and hit it. We're going to go 15 here, 20 here, 20 here, 15 there. And we'll go 30 on the 6 and 8. Right? Little tier pressure. And again, this is going to be kind of an aggressive play on my shot. Sometimes, if I'm really feeling it and if I'm in profit, I'll start from 220 and work backwards to this. Okay, but if it's just me, fuck off. Here I go. Let's see if now that I'm all, throwing 900 other kind of shots, can I actually shoot for myself here and get myself in? A little pass line bet. And again, the pass line bet I don't care about. That to me is it's the tax you pay for having to play. $10. I'm gonna put my money in the field. If I happen to win, we'll be in the field. Here we go. Coming out again. There's a 10. Good. Love me some outside point right there. 6, 4, 10 on the end. And now I'm going to try and make magic happen. Right? We're going to make magic happen. There's a couple of ways to do this. And the tier pressure normal way that I do the 4 hits and up is one way. I'll show you another one here. If I hit this one, I'll show you another option that I have. Let's see if I can't just survive my own awfulness and get something. There's a 5. 4, 1, 5 fever. Let's get that up in here in the viewer. So the 5 pays 28. Okay, $28. You would drop 2 from your rack. So 30 plus 20 is 50. 5 looks like 50. So the first hit on any number, full press. Looking for, as you know, a thing to repeat, or we're looking for 4 total box hits. That's it. Right? Let's hope that I can make it happen here. That's a 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3. Four, 3, 1, 4. Beautiful. All right. It pays 27. Goes to 40. Boom, full press. I got $12 in my rack. Right, we're killing it right now. $12 in the rack. Here we go. Ooh, bad. There's a 10. All right, we made it. That really should have been odds down here, but I'm not really paying that close of attention. All right, so we get paid $10 on the line. We get paid $27 up there. Again, it looks like 40. That comes in as profit. I'll take this also as profit here. So now we've got 24 bucks in the rack. Puck is off. We're still shooting. We've run this through one time. All right, coming out. Yo, Levin, yo. Nice come out, Johnny. 10 bucks. What I should be doing down here is playing the parlay press. If I was playing parlay press, we'd have already had that up. Actually, I'm not going to bet it in arrears, but I'm not really thinking. It's kind of late. But that should be parlay press down there. Here we go. Let's get a new point. New point's going to be 6. 426. There it is. 4-2. All right, we've had the 10 hit, we had the 5 hit, and the 4 hit. So the next box hit resets the board. Ideally, it would have been one of those 3 repeating, but here we go. Reset the board on this next shot. Hopefully it's a box, not a field. We got a 4, hard 4. Perfect. All right. So 40 is going to pay 80 down here. Okay, 80 for $2 in big. Reset the board. So this goes back down to 15. This goes back to 20. And the 10 goes back down to 15. So reset it to 130. Okay. What do we make on ourselves? There's 175 bucks. We made 175 on ourselves. Actually 175, 192. And we're set, ready to play. Okay. I'm back up there at my regular tier pressure level. Right. And now I shoot the ceiling. Right. Now we can press these things up. You're looking to make that thing look like 320 across or whatever. Right. Now we're going to go ahead and play. And again, on myself, I'll be a little bit more aggressive, maybe unprotected if I'm feeling it, right? If I'm throwing well. And that's, I think, I don't know if that's definitive for anybody or not, but that's when people say, how do you play at the table? That's what I do at the table, right? I assess what I see. And I'm not always following trends. You will follow some trends here and there. I trend bet on the lines. The lines get trendy. The box numbers get trendy. Right? When you see somebody in a pocket of bam, 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 right? There's pressing mechanisms to take advantage of that. Once you're here, once I hit my 4 numbers, right? I only rolled 4. I rolled 4 stinking box numbers. I'm up 175. I'm playing this for free. Essentially, I'm up 45 bucks. If I get 7'd out here, right? The 170 or 190 that I won, I'd replace the 130 and I'd still have 60 bucks in profit. But everybody else, like I said, if I'm looking at Chucky McRanderson, I'm looking for that guy to get 4. Right? I want out of that hand in 4. That's why it's going to be a don't pass, a couple of don't comes, maybe a come bet. 4 rolls, and that if he gets past roll 4, maybe he's the miracle guy, and I'm going to lose 40 bucks. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with losing 4 bets on a random shooter like that. It is what it is, right? If it's that careful shooter like my son, who doesn't really know how to throw, but he throws softly, right? With that little cross 6 set that he does, cool, right? I'm not going to let him beat me though, right? It's going to be, a little bit of 44 inside, maybe a little iron cross, couple of hits and bye-bye, right? Couple of hits, thanks Zach for getting me some money, but I'm going to win my money with you here, not here, right? You controlled shooters, make that skill 66 work for me, right? Maybe someday, right, when we have enough profit, we can do a 220 on you and do a squeeze play on somebody who's a good shooter, right? But they're going to get a couple of hits from it. I need them to get 2, right? I'm not going to go much more than 2 or 3 hits up here with you if you think you're a great shooter until I see you being a great shooter. Myself, I know what I do, right? So I trust myself. I don't go crazy, right? I usually horseman myself, win enough money to pay the 130 to go. That's kind of what my pattern is. I think dice control or dice influence, as it were, or controlled shooting, whatever you want to call it, whether it's real or not, there's a difference, I think, between this guy who's winging them and the guy who's going like that. There's a definite difference. Sure, every face of the dice shows. Sure, there's 3 impacts, base, wall, base again. They're less violent. And to me, this is a fender bender. It's not an 18-wheeler smacking you in the windshield, right? That's survivable. I think that fender bender is survivable. I think if you're careful with your dice, the fender benders are survivable. And if you play this up here in a way that won't destroy you, even in a fender bender, it's like being in a fender bender without a seatbelt is you're still going to hit the windshield, right? Have a seatbelt. Even in the fender benders, have yourself a seatbelt. Know how to play with that seatbelt, right? Couple hits, get some money, get out. Let the seatbelt do the rest of the work, right? Play a hybrid for a short time. So that's my thoughts on it, man. I mean, like I said, I don't believe for a minute that every throw is 100% completely random. I think that people have some pretty cool abilities. I've seen people do amazing things. I've seen my dice in slow motion work really well. I've seen my dice in slow motion look like a train wreck, right? I know that the way that I throw it's possible. That helicopter spinner has merit to it, and that's why I do it. I think that there's something to it. Whether it's a tiny something or a big something, I don't know yet. But I think these absolutist arguments of it's 100% for sure random, you're all a bunch of bullshitters. I don't buy into that. The casinos don't buy into it either. The casinos wouldn't do bouncy, random back walls, longer tables. They wouldn't have done all that. And they wouldn't keep doing it to bigger degrees if they thought that there was no merit to what we're talking about here. There's some merit to it. It may not be a lot, but there's some merit to that. And I think the casinos, they're just tightening the screws everywhere they can, right? Every screw they can tighten, they're going to tighten. They're like a freaking machine, you know. That's why I hate crapless, right? This is your safety belt, right? We talked about it. Casinos are getting rid of the safety belt. They're going to force you into the elephant graveyard. They're going to force you to play bets you don't want to make unprotected, but you've got no choice. They're going to take the flat dough away from you and force you into huge lays to protect yourself because they know, right? Because they know. Anyway, that's it. It's that's your coffee and craps today, guys. I as you know, I'm not in office today. I'm actually out at the doctor's, so that's why you have a pre-recorded show. So anyway, I appreciate you listening to me rant. I appreciate you watching me throw some 18 different ways here and failing some and winning some, and just giving you kind of an insight into my brain here and how this stuff works and how I see it working. And again, all of that can go further, right? I know Vince loves to play perpetual press style. Some guys like the hop stuff, right? Once you get your couple of wins in here, if you want to go back out there and do a little permanent press, cool, go for it. Do those kind of things from profit. I wouldn't go out there on a purely person who's trying to be random and put a Wayland's mind kind of a strategy out there and pray to God that person is going to be more than 4, because they're trying to be a 4 roller. They're trying to be 8.5. They're trying to get 4 total rolls. I mean, to me, I don't know. That's why the good Lord invented the don't pass, right? So you can play like Greg and throw like Greg and win like Greg, right? That's what this is for. Don't drive without a net. All right, guys, that's it. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. And as always, God bless every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.